So, my gear finally came in, and I don't think I really mentioned what it was before, but I ended up investing in the Superior Hammock gear, the Toasty bundle, and an extra quilt. So these are the quilts. This is a 30-degree quilt. I did opt for the Elite version. I see pretty good loft here. I'm going to be completely honest, everything I've used up till now has been homemade stuff. So this is really my first experience with, I don't want to call it real, but bought goods made by what I will refer to as professionals. But I did go with the Elite, so it is 900 fill, 950 fill power down, and so there's the hammock, there is a 30-degree quilt and a 45-degree quilt. And the reason I got two quilts is because if you don't know, the Superior Hammock is a hammock with an integrated underquilt, so you don't need to add it to it. It's already on there. This is the bug net that I also got with it. So this is a 45-degree underquilt that's attached to the hammock. You'll see it in a little while when I go outside to set it up. And it's got snaps on the side, I think a lot like the Jacks or better. So what I could do is I could take one of these other comforters and snap it on the outside and increase the insulation. They do have a chart on their website explaining what it should be around when it's stacked. If you stack two 45s together, that should get you to about 25 degrees. And if you stack a 30-degree and a 45-degree, I believe that they say that should get you down to 5 degrees. I will be bringing my sleeping pad so that I do have that extra security in case we get down that low. Most likely what I will be doing is a 45 and a 45 to bring me down to about 20 degrees, which again, I'm hoping is more of a comfort rating. And then I have the 30-degree as a top quilt. The top quilt that I made was made to go over my head, but as I explained in, one of the things I tend to notice when I'm out camping is I think that I breathe into my sleep system and generate moisture, and that tends to get me cold. So I really need to work on not burying my face. So I think that getting the regular size that comes up to my neck will probably be advantageous. Also, they do have the, I guess you could call this like a draft collar or a plug, so that when you zip up the, or when you button up the toe box of this, you have some, a way to prevent warm air from going out. I invested a lot of money in this. The Toasty bundle that I got with the Elite options was $770, and then the extra comforter was $334. This one. So yeah, I invested a lot in it, but it was important to me to be comfortable and to have something lightweight. Hiking the Appalachian Trail is kind of a dream thing, and I want to put my best foot forward for that. So there's that, and I'm hoping by taking care of this gear that it'll last me a really long time. I did order this gear September 2nd, and it didn't come until the beginning of January, so that was really difficult. I don't want to put any real blame on Superior for that. I know that they were having supply chain issues, which everybody's having, and I'm sure that they have a lot of orders. So I'm not saying anything bad about them. I'm just saying that it was really frustrating because I really wanted to test this gear out a little bit more before I started my thru hike. I'm leaving February 16th, which is a little bit more than a month, so I still have 2 trips to go out. It would have been nice to figure out if this stuff is going to work for me. with enough time to replace it if it doesn't, or if there's any issues. But here we are. So I don't think there's going to be a lot that I'm able to do if this gear doesn't work out. I haven't seen a lot of reviews for Superior gear online. I've seen a couple videos and they all seem to be pretty positive. So we'll see. But doing some digging when I was getting frustrated, I did see some people complaining about stitching. You know, I sew, obviously because I make my own gear, but I'm not very good at it. I get it done, and just a once over of all this stuff, I'm not really seeing anything that I'm not happy with. I did notice on one of the quilts I saw some extra down, but I'm hoping that that's just, you know, some stuff that was in the packaging. I did weigh these when they came in. You know, I have a saying, it's not that I don't trust you, but I don't trust you. And I'm not meaning that as a slam towards anybody. If anything, that's a slam towards myself. So I did weigh these when they came in. The 45 degree is 18 ounces. That came in pretty, like basically right on the money. The Elite 30 degree is 22 ounces. Again, it came in right on the money. It does have a stuff sack that comes with it, a bag, which is about 1.8 ounces. I'm not bringing those except for one, because the bag that comes with the hammock serves as a storage, which is pretty handy. I did get the Elite 11-foot hammock, and this one seemed to be, this is dumb, but it was like another ounce, maybe even an ounce and a half. So honestly, it's 6 in one hand, half a dozen in the other to me at that point. So there's that. I did opt for their Elite suspension system, which is some straps and a whoopee sling. So for the first trip that I go out, I will be bringing these. I will be giving them a shot. I do have my beetle buckles from Dutchware. They're really long, and I do that because there's been times where I've hung in trees that are pretty far apart or had really big trees. I haven't used most of the strap before. I've never found myself at the end, but I am a big fan of options. I mean, that's why I got a modular system like this. I think in the long run, I might be bringing these and one of my my other straps, just to, again, to give me some more options. But we'll see how these look today when I take them out. So I'm not sold on these. These are the Elite whoopee sling suspension for the Superior Hammock. They seem really cool, and I think that as far as adjusting them, it's just as easy as the beetle buckles. In fact, I think one of the things I don't like about the beetle buckles is when they get wet. Like if it was raining, it could be really hard to undo them. So I think potentially these could be awesome. The only thing that I don't like is that there's a limitation. You're only going to be able to go so far down. These are pretty big, so I could see myself doing a pretty far hang. In fact, if the trees are farther apart, it'd probably be better for me. But my experience has been is when I'm out doing stuff, you know, everybody thinks as long as I have 2 trees, but there's a lot, you know, when you get around a shelter and stuff like that, there's a lot of times that you actually find yourself, you could be quite limited. You know, I've had to stay at places where trees are really close together, just because I couldn't find a better option or all the really good spots were taken. So, You know, I might bring one of these with me, but you know, I could do both. But as I just discovered here, these two trees are, for what I consider, a really good distance apart, probably perfect. And these were too long. So yeah, at that point, I don't think it's really worth it to bring these and my beetle buckles. I'll probably just bring my beetle buckles if I really need to. You know, those things can shrink all the way to the tree. So although these are better weight, I'd rather futz around less and get ready to hang quicker. So I went ahead and threw on the 45-degree underquilt. I don't know if the suspension that was included is necessary or not. I mean, I'm looking at it and the thing is snapped up all around. And I mean, you could see the loft already on this thing. Man, this thing looks super comfortable. Laying it already it is comfortable. I started off with a ridgeline length of 108 degrees, which is the 83% of the 11-foot, I think, length of the hammock. And I tend to like mine slightly flatter. So right now I'm around 111, which doesn't seem like a huge difference, but it is. The ridgeline looks a little slack right now, but when I lay in it, it gets a little bit more taut, and that allows me to reach up. Okay, so now that I'm in here, I do have the bug net on. To tell you the truth, the bug net feels a little tight, which worries me slightly. Yeah, it pulls a little bit on the ridge line and pulls me in a little bit. So I'm thinking about it, and it might be, give it a shot, it might be that if I do lengthen the ridge line a little bit more, that might help. But it's not super tight. It doesn't feel like it's necessarily gonna rip, but there is some tension on it. I did go ahead and put the little tabs that they gave me, the extra little tabs for the zippers. I'm used to a front key, which is the term was told is what it is. It's the type of bug net that goes all the way around your hammock. Kind of looks like, I'm actually getting quite warm in here. Looks kind of like a keystone, like Pennsylvania, you know, so it's got that keystone shape to it. It goes all the way around your hammock, and the only openings are where the zipper is and where the suspension comes out of. You know, it served me really well. Again, another homemade product, another DIY. I purposely made mine with a lot of room so that it wouldn't feel constricting, so that it wouldn't affect the way I lay. So far this doesn't seem to.
but it is just something I noticed. The other thing too is that this has a lot of opportunities for bugs to still get in. For instance, up near the suspension, really, this just goes up and bugs could crawl in there just as easy. So that's just one thing I noticed. A couple things that I noticed about the bug net. So I did lengthen the ridge line a little bit more. I'm now up to about 115 inches. It seems that there's a little less tension on the bug net right now. And I still have a pretty decent diagonal lay. I did go ahead and pop into this 45-degree quilt. It's very comfy. So yeah, really, I'm getting really excited about trying this out. So I am a side sleeper. I do use a pillow. Usually when I use this pillow, I wrap a buff around it. It keeps me from sliding around on it a lot. So let's give it a shot with laying on my side. Yeah, laying on your side with the pillow can be a little weird, but yeah, it's really comfortable. So again, the only experience I have with hammocks are the ones I've made. The first one I made was a 10-foot hammock, and it was comfortable until I made a 12-foot hammock, and that was absolutely amazing. Yeah, this is a 11-foot hammock, which I did make an 11-foot hammock. It's so light. It's like scary light. Like I feel like I'm gonna break it when I get into it. But yeah, so far this thing seems really comfortable. The only thing I'm worried about is how taut the bug net is. I really can't wait to get out and